What's good, YouTube? This is Admin Umbra calling all grunts, thugs, leaders, and admins for another episode of Rocket Daily. And our numbers have quadrupled, people, since the first stream that we had. Thank you all so much. Thank all the Rocketeers, all the Rocket family members out there. You made our first stream an absolute smash hit. Our numbers have skyrocketed. And this battle, this Rocket Daily, is actually directly from that stream. I had this battle with King, and King, help me out. I forget your full Twitch name. If you have a YouTube or Twitter, if you send them to me, I will put them in this video, give you proper credit. My boy King here, we talked a lot through the course of the stream, and I actually chose this battle. He was testing teams, and we'd seen each other's teams before, but he had some really interesting stuff that I'd never seen used in OU. So I really wanted to show this team to kind of give him a little chance to shine. Also to show you the magic that happens in the Rocket HQ streams. Just so you know, by the time this video is up, tomorrow, what will be tomorrow, so I believe May 21st, I want to say. Let me double check this date for you. Yes, May 21st at 1 o'clock Eastern time, 1 o'clock p.m. Shade will start streaming again, and then in the night, I will be back between 5 and 6 for a long night stream. We will be back at it. I will have much more teams, much more battles to come. So thank you all the Rocketeers. Thank you so much for being a fantastic audience. We love you. So these teams, talking about my team, you all know that right now I'm in the process of making new teams. So these are some pokes you've seen before, my semi-gravity team. Looking at King's team, Scott in-game, I saw the biggest though was going to be if that was a choice scarfed Porygon over choice specs. If it was choice scarf, it could outspeed Landorus, which is a huge problem because I'm assuming it would carry the Ice Beam. But Skarmory should be able to deal with it a little bit, especially with aromatherapy support from Chansey to deal with tri-attack hacks. Infernape could be problematic. Tyranitar looks like it could be a Mega. But the biggest I was actually worried about was this Marill. This is a really, really cool Eviolite Marill, which I've never seen used before. I don't think most of you have either, so I wanted to showcase that. When I fight Azumarill, I really see it. It's most deadly when it's led with and allowed to get a belly drum up. So because of that, I almost led with Crobat, which you know is my normal lead with the taunt, but I actually went ahead and led with the Landorus in this battle, mainly because I was doing several things in the chat and kind of multitasking. Looking back on it, I think that Crobat would have been a safer lead. I think I was a little bit afraid of a T-Tar coming out because he does have rock support, and I didn't want to fire off my Crobat for nothing. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this episode of Rocket Daily. No, 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 no. All right, so actually getting into this battle here. All right, so we got Scott coming up, issuing a challenge, and he does, in fact, lead with the Marill, as a lot of people are prone to do, knowing how much of a threat it is. That almost confirms to me it is the belly drum set. That and the fact I know it has to have an Eviolite, can't be choiced. So I go right for the knockoff, just to knock off its Eviolite. Pinsir was in the back of my mind that I could maybe bring in Pinsir to take this thing out if its health was low enough. So getting rid of that defense boost would be huge. He does go for the belly drum, which obviously turns this Marill into a huge threat. By the way, you gotta love shiny Marill. Just looks so adorable. He goes for the belly drum. This is a huge threat now on the field. I know I need to switch out. Aqua Jet would obliterate me. My plan actually to play around this threat is I have Skarmory with the Rocky Helmet, and I know that within 2 hits, I can kill this thing to Rocky Helmet damage. So he goes for the Aqua Jet. I see how much that does. And this is a misplay on my part. I think you should learn from this. I went for Roost to get my Sturdy intact so I could live whatever hit. This is a fairly standard Marill / Azumarill, so it does carry the superpower, which is enough to knock me right back down. Granted, I was at pretty low health, but if I went for a Brave Bird and killed this thing, the recoil still wouldn't have been very much. Or I still would have been at higher health than just 1 HP. But that's what I went for to go ahead and guarantee the Rocky Helmet KO. So now he goes ahead and brings in his Infernape. And I don't know what this Infernape could do. I thought he might get, he might see me switch out. I was a little afraid of a power-up punch if it was that set. So I stayed and go for a Brave Bird. Showing off again the creativity of King right here. He actually has the assist on this Infernape, which I've never seen in Gen 6. So that's very cool. So now not only do I get to break any potential sashes with the helmet, I also see that he's Life Orb, a very cool combination with the assist. And so now, seeing what he's got, I go ahead and go back into my Lando Calrissian, knowing I can get the Intimidate off on this thing, knowing that it's not scarfed or anything. It obviously doesn't have Ice Punch, though it could draw something funky with Assist. He outspeeds, obviously, goes for the Assist, and gets Aqua Jet, which is pretty cool. But with the Intimidate and the lack of stab, even with that Life Orb, I'm not afraid of it. I can go for an Earthquake. At this point, I am sitting very, very pretty. Those were 2 of the biggest threats on his team I was worried about. Now the only thing I'm really afraid of is the Tyranitar. And so I'm sitting very, very pretty. I'm very happy with where I'm sitting at this moment in time. Two of his biggest threats have been taken out. So he goes in the palm, the Tropius, which needs a mega. Can we please in the comments talk about that? We need a mega Tropius. I don't know what his set is. We battled before, but I one-shotted this thing, so I didn't know what it was carrying. I go in the Crobat because I know it's going to have some sort of setup. I anticipated your Leech Seed sub-type shenanigans. Actually, though, he goes for the Dragon Dance. Very intrigued. I know at this point I should still be faster, so I go for a Taunt, anticipating him to go for 2 because Tropius is still, I mean, with 1 Dragon Dance, you're still not a threat. But he goes then for the Outrage. And so I'm scouting for damage here. I see how much this does. And I take that very, very well. So I know I can easily root stall him into Confusion. I was kind of curious if he'd be, you know, really interesting to have like the Lumberry type thing with maybe Rest to also deal with the Confusion from Outrage. So I was kind of curious if this tactic would even work. You know, because he could outplay me easily if he broke through Confusion and went for another Outrage when I went for the Taunt. But he does get confused, and then simultaneously he's going to wear off from his Taunt. I know he's going to want to go for another Dragon Dance to try and actually make this thing a threat. So at this point, I'm just roosting up, making sure I can take it. And then as soon as his Taunt wears off, I'm going to go for another Taunt. And then between being taunted and being confused, I really expected that his Tropius wouldn't want to be in here because there's not much he could do, and he's more likely just to hurt himself in Confusion. So that's what I go ahead and do. Props to you, King, though, for using the Tropius. That is really cool. I'd love to hear in the comments. Please tell us the rest of your set, because it's not often you see a physically offensive Tropius. But anticipating to switch out, because Tropius is kind of crippled, I go for the U-turn. I'm very lucky. He does, in fact, bring in the Tyranitar, predicting probably like a Brave Bird or a Flying type attack. And so I'm able to get a decent chunk of damage off here, even though I'm not invested. Its only attack on this Crobat is U-turn. It's purely a lead set for utility. Not the most effective Crobat, in my opinion. So I do get my U-turn off, go back, and now I get to go into my Chansey. I didn't want to go in the Lando yet because obviously Stone Edge can do some serious work, and I wanted to just bring this thing down just a tiny bit before I actually made that decision. Unfortunately, I think I had a lapse of judgment, forgot that this is easily a Mega. So in one of our last videos, the Maybe Snoopy submission, we saw a Dragon Dance, normal Tyranitar. Mega Tyranitar, it's much more common. So now he's going for Dragon Dances. Lando will not be able to outspeed. I'm kind of in a heap of trouble at this point, so I go for a Toxic, purely trying to get residual damage on this thing. I could have easily gone for a Seismic Toss as well, because I'm clearly not going to be able to wall this thing very effectively. But right now, this thing is a huge, huge threat to me. It's going for a second Dragon Dance. I'm kind of terrified at this point. I believe I go for a Seismic Toss purely for damage. But at this point, it's getting to the point where I cannot wall this thing anymore. It will be able to absolutely smash through me. I'm just hoping to get some residual damage on this and figure out what I need to fodder to bring something else in to try and take care of this T-Tar. I'm also mentally preparing. I might have to sack things until I can just get rid of this thing with toxic damage, since he has no Cleric. Obviously, he smashes through Chansey at this point. And so he takes a little bit more toxic damage. And now I'm getting kind of optimistic. His health is not in a very good place. But I decide that instead of trying to risk going for like a quick attack kill with Pinsir, I go in the People Eater. I don't need it anymore. Obviously, you won't have Stealth Rocks when Tyranitar is dead. And I went for U-turn in case he did go for something like Stealth Rocks. And now, obviously, not only does the Tyranitar go down the poison, but the Sandstorm goes down. So very excellent turn for me. It was worth sacking those 2 pokes to get his last threatening Mon out the way. Now, all he's got left that could be a real threat is the Porygon, which I don't think I really should have gone on the Landorus. I think his Porygon, especially if it has elemental attacks, is a pretty smart lead at this point. So fearing, from a previous battle, actually, I knew that this thing wasn't Scarfed. I knew that this thing was probably Spexed. So I go for a knockoff, and looking at this damage, I think I should have just gone straight for an Earthquake. I might have been able to KO with an Earthquake. Interestingly, he goes for a Tri-Attack, even though he's not running Adaptability, he's got Download. So he might not carry Ice Beam. Once again, King Scott, I would love to hear your set. Let us know. Hope you enjoy this video. So at this point, I go into my boy MK Asante, who, by the way, is one of my all-time favorite poets. So big inspiration for me. You should check out his work as well. Google him, or check out the Rocket Radio. Check out the poetry we're doing here at Rocket HQ. Anyway, so I go ahead and go for a quick attack at this point, knowing that if knockoff did not much with Mega-Pinsir, quick attack can take this thing out. This puts me in a really great position because the only things he's got left are weak to this Mega-Pinsir. Once again, this is a different Mega-Pinsir than you're used to seeing me use. This is the Thrash variant with 4 attacks to take advantage of gravity support. So Earthquake, Stone Edge obviously benefit tremendously from gravity. He sends in the Hitmontop, and I know I've seen this matchup before. The sheer power, I don't care that it's Intimidate. mega-pinsir, the sheer power of a super effective Thrash. It just does absolute decimates this Hitmontop. So that was a good game. Not too serious. You know, some fun stuff I wanted to highlight King's creativity because he was using some really fun stuff I thought you all might want to look at. But again, this battle happened on the stream at Rocket HQ at Twitch. And just thank you to Scott for all the support. If you send me some information on you like YouTube and stuff, I will put it in the description for all the Rocket family to check you out. And again, this could be you. We are streaming very, very regularly now. Tomorrow, May 21st at 1 p.m. Eastern, we will be streaming. And then again tomorrow night, we will be streaming as well. Follow us on Twitter to stay up to date with that, excuse me. Also check out the Prezi and the Google Drive for copies of this team. Thank you everyone who supported the first stream. There's gonna be much more coming. If you want to battle me, just let me know. I'm always looking for battles. But thank you, King. Thank you to everyone in the Rocket family who made this Rocket Daily possible, this channel possible. This is your HQ, sending love your way. This is Admin Umbra signing off. Thanks for watching.